money, and they really want to lean into power in that top jungle and then have scaling elements on the bottom side of the map. But on the other side, the Seraphine locked in for Andal.
That's an interesting one.
A pick, to be fair, the Dragons themselves, there is situations where they definitely have more value. And this could well be one of them. A lot of CC that can be reduced by that tenacity. And we do see on the top side, KT are just going to pick up those Void Grubs, and the trade off to the bot side is Kuz picking up that Dragon. So just cross-mapping. We do see Death went for the move up on the center to try and assist, but I don't think they can pressure Beryl too much bot lane, but I'm also not sure they're going to get too much on the top side with Death being there.
Well, we've got a little bit of a flyby here. Spotted immediately, as Beryl does see exactly what's going on. Let's see whether Dudu can survive this one, though, as Deft picks up the turret aggro. Not going to be able to tank it for too much longer, and almost dies, in fact. He is so incredibly tanky, but there is first blood going.
There's a certain point at like the 25-30 minute bot mark where they can feel really weak. Because has just got his first item completed. It looks like they want to try and contest.
Yeah, he's just wandering over. You can see Beryl on a control ward. BDD now walks across a ward himself, and there is an arrow connecting. BDD going to head straight into the Nature's Grasp, is now casting, looking for a wraparound, but the rest of KT, they're leaving the situation. The Encore goes completely wide, though, and now Kuz looking for the opportunity. That is a beautiful gobble, though, as Beryl is going to be able to save his jungler, and now casting, trying to get in amongst it, then gets out of it. And we've got another singularity coming in. Beryl is going to be avoided, and now Kuz is burning down. Finally, someone dies. The health bars are so extraordinarily low, and finally, Bulldog, he will go down. Kuz out of life as well, but now the Dusante is marching his way forward. Deft, going to be very difficult to get out of this one, and there is the flash forward. And quite strong enough. Only, 1.5k, the advantage here for KwangDong Freecs, but still a great start. They'll grab themselves their second Drake.
Like they'll throw the Ash Shield, they'll throw the Malkael, but Andal is like holding on to the Seraphine until he sees it. Like, trying to contest this seems risky to me.
It certainly does. Well, they're still going to look for it, as there's a Glacial Prison. That was beautifully landed. Couldn't buffer that one. That is going to be at least the Herald secured here by the KwangDong Freecs as the Shadow dawns.
Each mid lane to try and defend.
All right. Another meat drop going to come down there, and Pyoshik pretty happy to tank it, as Dudu is extraordinarily tanky. Tongue Lash connects, and there is an instant cleanse from Leaper to get him out of the way. The arrow is going to come through, and Beryl can't cleanse that one, but still the liquid's coming through. He's going to be denied there, as it's a great ultimate from BDD, but now Dudu's in amongst it. There's the kidnap onto Pyoshik. Not exactly optimal, but now Bulldog's looking for the resets, but BDD gets into the fog of war. It doesn't matter. Dudu is just too big. He's able to take down Beryl, and now casting, just trying to find something back, but he is dead as well, and KT are crumbling. And KwangDong Freecs will get that soul point they were looking for.
Big Dragon in pocket, and a couple of kills on top of that. Summoner's burn across the board. 4 flashes down from KT.
Not in the optimal position, and he basically takes no damage at all. Casting now on a flank angle, but he's spotted here by Bulldog. There's the counter-strike. Arrow going to fly in amongst it as well, as Pyoshik taking so much damage. Finally, the skies descend as the Dawning Shadow does a fair bit of work, but this is where the Seraphine can find her options as Beryl dives forward. Dudu looking for death. Good flash to get him out of the way, but Beryl is very dead.
KT end up being the ones to have to back off. They don't have to sustain. Pyoshik is looking, but Dudu is not going to let him get near. Yeah, he's gone. Soul secured for KwangDong Freecs.
About half the gold of what Leaper has.
Doesn't even have a second item, and Leaper, he's gone the Executioners and has a
as the game goes on. And now Beryl, arrow is going to connect onto the Tahm-Kench. Deft in position, but there's not enough grey health for him to eat here. As now
KT, they feel like they have to contest this, but Dudu on the flank as well. This is so hard to play.
Well, Pyoshik going to try and get in there. He steals it! All right, well, he's going to be sacrificed. Deft also is well and truly out of position, so they lose 2. Beryl is still dead as well. So 3 dead on the side of KT as KwangDong Freecs. They failed to get the Baron, but they get all the map control.
I'm going to say this was the best of a terrible situation for KT. I'm not going to sit here and say it was good, but they got the Baron steal. I honestly thought that was going to be game over. It was KwangDong Freecs' Baron. It was going to be them winning the team fight as well. But at least they denied the Baron. And against an Aurelion Soul, you don't
tie a game.
Oh, if Bulldog gets this solo gold, 700 gold, he might have enough for IE.
Through here now as well, as BDD hit by a sapling is okay. They do manage to land the Glacial Prison onto Kuz. Teleport to come in though, as the Kazante is coming back. Great Encore onto Beryl. He does have some grey health to eat, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to keep him alive. As now BDD just getting chunked out by Bulldog, who's getting the resets. He finds another one. He's just playing Mario on the Rift here, as now casting welcome to the LCK. And unfortunately, the first one is going to be an L by the looks of things, as Bulldog going to be able to grab the ace. Here's Tristano looking absolutely incredible here in game number 1 of the summer season for the KwangDong Freecs. And I think they're looking to end it here.
Yep, so well played from KwangDong Freecs. The composition made sense. They got an advantage, and they never gave KT an angle back into the game. The Elder didn't even get touched. They didn't let any opportunity for Pyoshik to steal, and now they're getting their 1-0 in the series.
KwangDong Freecs 1-0 up against KT. A little bit too much scaling on their side, but just great play. The Blitzcrank? Yeah. There it is.
I was going to say, your options here, you try and match scaling for scaling, or you go for a kill lane. And I think it's pretty clear they've gone for the kill lane. Ash Seraphine are going to be so vulnerable against this Blitzcrank. This is why Andal, they're dialed in, they're focused. Ooh. It's mano a mano.
True. Well, you can see Casting, he started it up. Ruthless Predator going to connect this time around. He's got the dice ready. It's almost just a solo kill as the flash forward.
Like the Aurelion Sol, terrible against the Seraphine. Whereas a lot of the components on KwangDong Freecs is single target damage. You know, the Corki is more for bursty assassin now. Camille and Jin and Blitz are all good at like bursting out one target. So the value for the Seraphine may not be as good as Andal got in that game 1. Oh, Beryl.
Yeah, able to sidestep the hook. Andal down to about 50%, but Def not wanting to walk into the fog of war. This is
unhealthy.
Somewhat subpar as old here. He's jumped a little bit further forward than he would otherwise like. He's casting once again almost towards a solo kill, and he's now looking to try and deliver this one over to BDD. It doesn't quite work out, and Casting's going to have to tell. Oh! He walks back and gets himself killed. He was like, no. In game number 1 to make sure that his debut wasn't against a champion that he has struggled into the past. That is a great shove, though, from BDD onto Andal, but already it started off poorly here for KT. A 1-for-1 in the end. Support for Jungler as now Beryl. That encore was not it. Now Def will finally turn up. Another phenomenal seismic shove going to come in as Def finally has the arrows, but it's just not going to be enough. Leaper dives on top of him, and it's a triple, almost a quadra kill for Bulldog. Well, but Bulldog just right-clicked. And now Andal's in the top lane, and that is a nice little hook. Going to be set up brilliantly there. The Dominus not quite going to be enough, but at least the Q doing some work. And now a flash forward from Pyoshik. Finds the punch under the Camille once again. Debut series.
It's all mind games all the way down.
It's glorious. I love that when there's layers, you know, layers upon layers.
Like an onion.
Uh-huh.
Or an ogre.
Indeed. I was wondering whether you... Unless KwangDong Freecs have something to say about it. Blast Cone available for Kaz, opts out of it here as the Drake is going to be picked up. Hook once. Maybe if the hook had landed from Andal, then everything's different. As soon as the hook doesn't land, they back away from it. There it is, landing this time around. Very easy on a stationary target. And Def now just getting completely torn to shreds. Valkyrie forward from Bulldog, cleanse from Deft. He gets out of dodge, but BDD may not be in a good enough position. And now Casting, he's making his way in 3 low health members. This is so scary, and the seismic shove onto the rocks from BDD, and he secures his target, and now this huge crocodile.
Get baited in, Casting TPs through, they'll get the tower as well, and suddenly we have a pretty significant gold lead for the side of KT. 3,000 ahead right now. KwangDong Freecs will take the Herald as a compensation prize, but that is all they will get. And KT, game's in a much better spot than that game 1.
Perfect was often one of these more utility-based top laners. I'm going to have to hold that thought for a moment. BDD in trouble. Hook going to connect. And there it is. Encore not going to be landing here either, as Andal just trying to get out of there, and will be able to do so. Kuz tanking up the turret for him.
Yeah, good teammate Kuz tanking that one up for him. Very long CC change.
Yeah, I feel like that snare lasted for way too long. I was like, hang on a second. Are we going to have a pause? But we did. It was just Andal, and it is just as intended as
now.
I
don't think you're outplaying this. I don't think there's any...
No. Can you get the ultimate out of Pyoshik is the question, I guess, that you can ask. And the answer is no, you can't. As Pyoshik going to do some Overwatch tactics here as he's looking to try and... something to do with this Talia for BDD. He has been extraordinarily good on this champion throughout his entire career. Yeah. Just completely defeated. Oh... It was beautiful.
That was hilarious.
It's
not as bad for Leaper, but for Bulldog, they're looking for play.
Yeah, although this is kind of just Kuz right now. He's just fighting Casting. Dudu will eventually make his way down and does try and keep him in position. There is the Dominus. They do have the dice as well. Casting is actually not wanting to use it because he has teammates coming down as well, and KwangDong Freecs starting to realize that they have overstayed their welcome. Good flash from Kaz. Probably double lift as well.
I'm ready for it to happen here.
Yeah, as okay, the Dragon down to 50% as now Andel's just flashing forward, manages to get the hook, but he's taking so much damage. He's first one to go down. BDD goes golden as well to survive through it, and now the Ash is tearing them to shreds. Casting gets amongst it. He's going down like paper, like you were saying, but Deft is still raining hell on them. There's the Weaver's Wall. The flash comes out from Dudu, and KwangDong Freecs are just pushed away from this Dragon Pit.
Yeah, I mean, part of the problem, they didn't have the Maokai ult, and yes, they managed to get in and get on top of BDD, but the follow-up isn't there in time. I think it was actually Beryl who pushed forwards to block the fourth shot from the Jhin.
Oh, no. There's the arrow. Seismic Shove is going to be avoided, as Bulldog not CC'd quite long enough. And that was a very short-range arrow, so incredibly quickly. Yeah, and KT, you probably knew exactly what was happening here. You saw all of them converge, but that is just a free Baron. It's a hook as well, as now Beryl, he had to flash to get out of the way of that one, but he cannot flash again, so he's just dead. So it's not only a Baron, but it's also
right there. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't.
Nope. Controller was kind of ignored in like this weird way that it just wasn't going to be enough. As Arrow going to connect onto Leaper here, he flashes over the wall after the cleanse. That's both summoner spells now down. Weaver's Wall coming in. Arndil in no man's land, and Dudu is with him and is now casting. He's going to come in. The Hextech ultimatum to try and avoid some of the damage, and KwangDong Freecs get the first 2 kills of the fight. BDD looking for more. The health bars are so incredibly low. Is BDD finally able to go into that Zhonya's to keep himself alive? Oh. Leaper finds the shot and just ends the Renekton, and now Kaz flashes forward with the Bramble Smash.
Collector, i.e. Anna Dick, if he autos any squishy, which is everyone, it's just going to do so much damage.
Well, Dudu is going to spot Pyoshik here. Or Pyoshik spotted or someone. There was some scouting done by both. Mike was lethality Jhin. That just felt terrible.
Now you have a bit of both, you know, bit of lethality, bit of crit,
yeah,
a lot of damage.
Yeah, I like the crit version a whole lot more. As Seismic Shove going to go wide. There is the Nature's Grasp. As okay, Andel not going to quite find the hook, as there it is. Cease and desist, and they say no to Bulldog. He is very, very dead. KT finding a little bit of respite here, as that push didn't quite work out for the KwangDong Freecs.
Yep, that QSS sitting in Bulldog's inventory, not doing anything in that situation.
That's an expensive paperweight at that point in time, as Pyoshik doesn't have cease and desist now, but there's the Weaver's Wall from BDD. Looks for the opportunity on the Leaper, who just walks over to the side. Andel might be taken down here as Pyoshik in trouble. Def just flying forward, finds the Jhin. BDD once again and expertly used Zhonya's just to bait them through. And Dudu couldn't find any. So this is going to be KT's advantage with all 5 members here. They've got the healing from the Seraphine as well. They just need to keep Kaz out of the pit. That is all they have to do. Is now Bulldog, he is once again going to eat a cease and desist, and he's all by himself. Casting dives over the Baron wall as well, and KT, an expertly played Baron. They will be able to lock that one down, and I think right now it's looking really difficult because the gold has swung back once again. Inner turret's now starting to fall down.
Still not that big of a lead though.
Still in the build right now. And there is the Dragon secured by the KwangDong Freecs. So both teams on Soul Point now. KwangDong Freecs do also have Dudu in a side lane, and KT, what they want is to just take an inhibitor in trade. They might be able to get there, as Dudu actually decided to go back to the wave to try and challenge. This inhibitor is not long for the world, so they want to get at least something. But casting, he goes back. The curtains have now been called, and the Weaver's Wall will be able to knock Leaper out of it, even though the Edge of Night was there as BDD. He's getting taken down low, but he has that Zhonya's. As now Bulldog going to get pushed back. BDD thrown into the thick of things, though, as there's Leaper's cleanse, and casting trying to get up there, but he can't really do it. Dudu is just a monster as Beryl's flashing away, and they've lost both of their carries, and now Leaper, another just explosion of crit damage on top of this Renekton. Beryl can't do anything. And this new 80 carry for the KwangDong Freecs is popping off.
He's doing so much work. KT overcommitting to the base. Perfect lineup for not only the Jhin ult, but the flank that comes through. And now it's only the Vi alive. The death timers are long. The waves are there. They're going to look for the end here and now.
Let's see what they can do. They've got that wave turning up towards that bottom side. They can tank up these turret shots as well to try and keep this wave alive for as long as possible. Pyoshik, he's going to need a miracle, but I just don't think he's going to be able to buy enough time. He needs 13 seconds on BDD, and he just will not have it. The KwangDong Freecs, a 2-0 in their debut match of summer. Leaper comes out and says, World Championship bottom lane? Nah. That's not what I'm interested in. Another hook for Arndil. And the KwangDong Freecs take the 2-0.
And it's a convincing series. It's a really strong performance.